Marcus, a software developer, enters his office and takes a seat at his desk. From across the room, he catches his colleague Sarah grumbling loudly. "I can't believe they gave that project to Alex instead of me. Don't they realize I'm the best programmer here?" Marcus lets out a quiet sigh. This isn't the first time he's heard Sarah voice such complaints. Lately, it feels like entitled attitudes are everywhere, with people expecting the world to cater to them just because they exist. Sound familiar? Today, we're going to dive into the concept of entitlement and how ancient Stoic wisdom suggests we handle these attitudes. We'll explore an age-old problem with a modern perspective, through the lens of Stoicism, a philosophy that has helped people face life's challenges for over 2,000 years. But first, let's clarify what selfish entitlement means. It's the mindset that one deserves special privileges or treatment without having earned them. Sarah believes she should get every prime project simply because she's Sarah. So, you may wonder, what do ancient Roman philosophers have to say about dealing with entitled individuals in today's world? Stick around because we're about to show you how the teachings of great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca can serve as your guide. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with Stoic strategies to 1. Recognize entitled behavior, even in yourself. Yes, we're going there. 2. Understand why distancing yourself from overly entitled people is essential. 3. Learn how to deal with entitled individuals when avoiding them isn't an option. So grab your virtual toga, and let's embark on this Stoic journey together as we explore the psychology behind entitlement from a Stoic perspective. Let's peel back the layers of the entitled mindset. But instead of turning to modern psychology, we'll revisit the writings of some ancient thinkers who understood human nature deeply. One such philosopher is Epictetus, who began his life as a slave and rose to become one of Rome's most respected teachers. Epictetus had a lot to say about desire and aversion, concepts central to entitled behavior. One of his famous sayings is, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Imagine if Sarah took this advice to heart. Instead of fixating on the project she didn't get, she could appreciate the skills and opportunities she already possesses. Entitled individuals, however, tend to do the opposite, focusing on what they think they deserve, rather than valuing what they have. This brings us to an essential Stoic principle: virtue. For Stoics, virtue isn't about moral superiority, it's about living in accordance with nature and reason. They believe that true virtue is comprised of wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. Now, compare that with entitlement. An entitled person might say, "I deserve this because I want it," while a Stoic would ask, "Does wanting this align with virtue? Does it make me wiser, more just, courageous, or self-controlled?" A prime example comes from one of the most famous Stoics, Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Despite being the most powerful man on earth at the time, Marcus constantly fought against entitlement in his own life. In his personal journal, which was later published as Meditations, he often reminded himself not to be corrupted by his authority. In one instance, when dealing with senators who thought they were entitled to special treatment simply due to their status, Marcus relied on his Stoic training and treated them like any other citizens. He famously wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In essence, Marcus teaches us that while we can't control others' entitled behavior, we can control how we respond to it. And that's Stoicism in a nutshell. So, what lessons can we draw from the Stoic approach to entitlement? 1. Focusing on what you lack rather than what you have is a surefire way to invite misery. 2. True value comes from living virtuously, not from what we believe the world owes us. 3. While we can't always control the entitled behavior of others, we do have power over how we respond. Next, we'll explore how to spot entitled behavior using some age-old Stoic wisdom. Spoiler alert, it involves a philosopher named Seneca and a few wannabe intellectuals. Stay tuned. Recognizing entitled behavior through a Stoic lens. Now that we've uncovered the psychology behind entitlement, let's shift our focus to spotting it in others and ourselves. And who better to help us with this than Seneca, the original philosopher when it came to exposing pretentiousness? Seneca was a wealthy Roman statesman and Stoic philosopher who had a remarkable ability to see through people's facades. In one of his letters, he wrote about encountering individuals who claimed to be philosophers, but were really just self-important braggarts. He said, "Men who have made philosophy their choice, yet do not shape their conduct to their professions, are no better than those who own doctors, but never follow their prescriptions." So, what are the telltale signs of self-entitlement according to our Stoic mentors? 1. They believe they're special and deserving of privileges without earning them. 2. They struggle to accept criticism or admit when they're wrong. 3. They tend to blame others for their problems. 4. They have unrealistic expectations of others and the world. 5. They often lack empathy and fail to see things from other people's perspectives. Let's take a quick journey back to ancient Rome to look at Cato the Younger, a Roman senator known for his unwavering principles. Cato was famous for resisting corruption and entitlement in Roman politics, even when it made him unpopular. In one case, when political candidates were bribing voters with free grain, Cato refused to participate in this tradition, even though it likely cost him the election. He valued integrity over entitlement, proving that virtue, not privilege, is the true measure of worth. In contrast, Sarah from our office scenario feels entitled to a project simply because of her self-perceived status, while Alex, who got the project, is grateful for the opportunity and works hard to deliver his best. That's the difference between entitlement and healthy self-esteem. Recognizing entitlement in others is important, but don't forget to apply that same lens to yourself. Pay attention to how you react to setbacks and criticism. Do you reflect on how you can improve, or do you instinctively blame external factors? The Stoics encourage us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Using one of the core principles of Stoicism, focusing on what we can control, Epictetus famously said, "Some things are in our control and others not." He explained that what we control includes our opinions, desires, and actions, while things outside our control, like our body, reputation, or external events, are beyond us. So how does this help when dealing with entitled people? We can't control their actions, but we can control how we respond to them. Let's take a look at Marcus from our earlier scenario. Sarah, still upset about not getting the project, starts spreading rumors about Alex to make herself look better. Marcus, applying his Stoic training, knows he can't control Sarah's behavior, but can manage his own. Here's how he might handle the situation. 1. Stay objective. Marcus evaluates Alex's work based on performance, not on Sarah's gossip. He focuses on facts and evidence, not hearsay. 2. Refuse to engage. When Sarah tries to involve Marcus in her complaints, he politely refuses to contribute to negative talk about others. 3. Focus on virtue. Rather than getting caught up in office politics, Marcus concentrates on doing his best work with integrity and consistency. 4. Practice empathy. Marcus tries to understand what insecurities might be fueling Sarah's behavior, allowing him to respond with patience rather than frustration. Now you might wonder, does this approach allow entitled people to get away with bad behavior? Stoics argue that by staying calm and not letting others' actions disturb your peace, you're in a stronger position. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Remaining composed in the face of entitlement allows you to maintain your integrity and often gain more respect than if you were to stoop to their level. However, it's important to remember that dealing with entitled people can still affect your mental well-being. Stoics, like Seneca, emphasize the value of choosing your company wisely, advising, associate with people who are likely to improve you. So how do we balance these ideas in real life? Here are a few Stoic strategies. 1. Set boundaries. Calmly and firmly let entitled people know what behaviors are acceptable. 2. Limit exposure. Minimize time spent with highly entitled individuals to protect your energy. 3. Seek positive relationships. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to grow. 4. Practice self-care. Regularly take time to recharge through journaling, meditation, or other reflective practices. 5. Use as a learning tool. Reflect on your own attitudes. Do you unconsciously harbor entitlement in any area? The Stoic way is not about avoiding every challenging person. It's about building resilience and using interactions as opportunities for personal growth. By focusing on what you can control and staying rooted in virtue, you protect your peace while navigating entitlement with strength and grace. For the Stoics, virtue was the only true good. In a world full of distractions and moral compromise, maintaining one's virtue was seen as the highest aim of life. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly in his Meditations when he wrote, "Just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter." This quote reflects the Stoic belief that the right action, rooted in virtue, is what truly counts, regardless of external circumstances or the behavior of others. In our story, modern-day Marcus embodies the Stoic principle. Instead of getting swept up in the office politics or reacting negatively to Lucia's entitlement, he chooses to stay rooted in his values. Rather than bad-mouthing her or seeking to undermine her in retaliation, Marcus does something remarkable. He offers to help Lucia. By offering to guide her through the team's workflows and coding standards, Marcus leads by example, demonstrating that leadership is not about entitlement or self-importance. Instead, true leadership is shown through actions that benefit the group and uphold integrity. In this way, Marcus practices the Stoic principle of acting virtuously even in challenging situations. The Stoics were masters of perspective. One of their core teachings was that how we perceive events plays a crucial role in how we experience them. Epictetus, a former slave-turned-Stoic philosopher, put it eloquently. Everything has two handles, one by which it may be carried, the other by which it cannot. This idea encourages us to approach every situation from a viewpoint that allows us to carry the emotional weight of it with more ease. It's a method of reframing circumstances so that they serve our peace of mind and personal growth. In Marcus's case, he uses this art of reframing to understand Lucia's entitlement. Instead of seeing her as just an arrogant coworker trying to steal his thunder, he tries to view the situation from her perspective. Perhaps Lucia's sense of entitlement stems from her own insecurities in a new job, or maybe it's a result of corporate environments that previously rewarded her for assertive behavior. By choosing to see the situation in this light, Marcus reframes his emotional response. He replaces potential anger and resentment with empathy and understanding, which helps him maintain his composure and stay focused on his own work. This shift in perspective doesn't mean Marcus approves of Lucia's behavior. It simply allows him to control how he reacts to it. By choosing to carry the situation by the handle of empathy, Marcus prevents the situation from becoming a burden on his mental state. While Stoicism emphasizes inner tranquility, it does not advocate being passive in the face of mistreatment. Stoic calm isn't about letting people trample over you. It's about maintaining your dignity and setting boundaries without anger or hostility. Stoics believed in addressing issues directly, but with a level-headed and rational approach. In our scenario, Lucia tries to take credit for one of Marcus's ideas during a team meeting. This is a classic example of entitled behavior, where someone attempts to benefit from another's hard work. Rather than getting defensive or entering into a heated argument, Marcus responds with calm and clarity. He says, "I'm glad you agree with the approach I proposed last week. I'd be happy to explain how I developed that solution." With this statement, Marcus calmly reasserts his ownership of the idea, without accusing or escalating the situation. It's a factual correction, delivered in a way that keeps the focus on the work itself and doesn't allow the situation to devolve into unnecessary conflict. By setting this boundary, Marcus makes it clear that he won't allow his contributions to be overlooked, but he does so in a way that maintains his professional demeanor and preserves the harmony of the team. The Stoic response here is powerful because it shows that setting boundaries doesn't require anger, just a firm commitment to truth and fairness. The payoff. The Stoic path to success. Let's fast forward a few weeks. Thanks to his Stoic approach, Marcus has continued to excel at his job, focusing on his work and staying true to his principles. His boss, noticing both his consistent performance and his mature handling of challenging team dynamics, decides to make Marcus the project lead. Marcus's virtue and professionalism have earned him the leadership role he was hoping for. But here's the twist. The boss also asks Marcus to mentor Lucia, seeing potential in her despite her entitled attitude. This is where the Stoic journey comes full circle. Rather than viewing this as an added burden, Marcus sees it as an opportunity to practice his Stoic virtues even further. Mentoring Lucia isn't just about guiding her technically, it's also a chance to potentially influence her perspective on entitlement and teamwork. Through his actions, Marcus might help Lucia develop a more balanced and humble approach to her work. In this way, Marcus's adherence to Stoic principles not only leads to his personal success but also creates a ripple effect, potentially benefiting the entire team. His leadership isn't built on ambition or entitlement, but on integrity, empathy, and a commitment to the common good. Key takeaways. 1. Virtue over entitlement. In difficult situations, focus on maintaining your virtue, as this is the foundation of true success. 2. Reframe challenges. Use the Stoic art of reframing to find a perspective that allows you to respond with empathy and resilience rather than anger. 3. Set boundaries calmly. Assert your rights and contributions without letting emotion drive the conversation. Clear, calm communication is powerful. 4. Lead by example. True leadership isn't about claiming titles or credit. It's about showing integrity and setting a standard through your actions. By applying Stoic principles, Marcus achieved his goals, maintained his integrity, improved team dynamics, and positioned himself as a leader capable of handling challenging personalities with grace.